Hi Tina, it's Lisa. I was just looking at your project and wanted to congratulate you on a job well done. You seem to have got everything off the zero layer and onto the new layers. The windows, I didn't check every single opening, but the ones that I checked were dead on, very clean, and the doors and everything looked good. I wanted to address the two things. Excuse me, I'm going to find your post here. I wanted to address the two things that you mentioned in your post as being problems. Okay, the first was that you weren't able to change the layer on your bay because it would change the whole wall. Well, actually, the reason for that is that your bay window is for some reason a polyline. I'm not really sure how that happened, but the way to fix that problem is to explode the polyline so that it becomes line segments again. Now, where the explode command is on all these fancy menus, I don't really know. I'm going to suspect it's modify. Draw. Utilities, no. Block, no. Annotation. That's offset. Explode. There's explode. It doesn't look. It used to look like a stick of dynamite. So it doesn't look like a stick of dynamite anymore. So you're going to choose the explode command, and now voila, it's separate walls. Okay. So now it should be easy to make your window. Okay. The other things you talked about a little bit were the breakpoint line is very small. Okay, once again, where is break? I really don't like the break command. For some reason, it doesn't really work well with my brain. It works well for some people, it doesn't work so well with others. The premise is that if you look down here in the command line, it's going to tell you what it wants you to do. It is giving you the commands at the command line. So it is telling you to select the object. Okay, so we're going to select the object we're going to break, which is that one. Now then, when you use the break command, it assumes that the first point you pick is the one where you want the break in the wall to start. So if I just pick another point, and I'm just going to pick the nearest point here, it makes a break like that. However, where is it? Modify, break. However, if I want to break it at a specific point, like I want to break it at the midpoint, you can type mid and it'll find it. Whoops, that was the lengthen command, not the break command. Where's the break command? That's lengthen. There's break. Okay, so you select the object. Now, if that's not the point you want to break it at, you say first point. Okay. Say you want to break it a foot down from the midpoint. I'm just going to kind of go down here. And so 1.6 feet from the midpoint, click is where I want the first point, and I want the second point at the midpoint. Done. Okay, the other thing you can do is if you want to break the line in half at the midpoint, you can select the break command again. You can select an object. Why is it not selecting the midpoint? I'm going to type the mid. You can type things. You select the midpoint. Okay, and then for the second point that it's asking you for, down here, you type at, and now you have two line segments. Now then, so far as getting the midpoint, if you look down here, these are the object snap settings, and if you right click on that, you can see the things that are light blue are the ones that it should select automatically. That should be easy. So you can pick those. I don't recommend picking too many of them. I recommend choosing endpoint, midpoint, intersection are good ones. Center is a good one. And then you can type the rest of them if you need them. The first 3 letters, in general, if you type the first 3 letters of any of these words, it will pick that object snap. Okay, so that's the break command. Now then, let's look at the copy command too. So if I'm looking, do we have a 4-foot window? I don't know if we do or not. I'm just going to copy one of your windows here to use as our bay window. Okay, so I'm going to select, okay, once again, copy. If you look down here in the corner, it says select the objects you want to copy. I'm going to select the objects using a crossing window. Done. Now then, specify the base point or displacement mode. Displacement mode will displace it by a distance that you choose. I don't want to do that. I want to go base point to base point. Okay, so the most logical base point for me is going to be this midpoint. I'm going to click midpoint, and then I'm going to pan over and put it there. Well, great. Now I have this shorter window than what I need, because I know I need a 4-foot window. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw the ends of my window in. And I'm going to do that by drawing a line in at the center line. And then I'm going to offset this line that I just drew 2 feet. See, it's asking for an offset distance, so I'm going to offset it 24 inches. Come here. Offset. Offset. And then I'm going to use my trim command, and I'm typing things because when I first started learning AutoCAD, that's how we had to do things. Now you can pick everything off the menus. It's so easy. You guys are so lucky, but I'm still a fogey. So trim, select cutting edges. Okay, so I want to select the things I want to use as a knife. This is like a cookie cutter. I want this line and this line. Okay, now I'm done, so I'm going to hit enter. Now then, I'm going to select the things I want to trim, which is this line and this line. And now, down here you see it says select object to trim or shift select to extend. So if I shift and I select these, come on. My mouse is skipping around on me funny. Not happy. Okay, shift. And then I'm going to select these right here. Yeah, there we go. And I'm selecting them by crossing window. And that did not take. Okay, so I'm going to shift, pick. It's not doing it. Let's zoom closer. Okay, I give up. Apparently it's not going to cooperate with me about this. Okay, so instead of using that command, I am going to first trim again. I'm going to trim my edges of my windows. I'm going to erase my midline. I'm going to use my favorite match properties thing to clean this up right here. And then I'm going to use extend to extend these lines to the edges. Come on. Oops. Okay. Extend. Extend. Okay. So now that should make it a little easier for you to work with. The trick with the copy command, though, is really to think about where you want to copy it to. So if you're copying a door, you want to copy it from this corner right here, because that's going to be the most logical one. And if you're copying other things, you just need to think about how you want it to go into the space. A few other little things I'm going to get my pan here. Okay, generally these kinds of arrows, we will put the end actually touching the stair. And you want to make sure that this is clean down here. So you want to fillet it up. Okay, make it clean. In your brake line, I see you discovered the bonus tools, but that's really way too small, isn't it? So maybe use the scale command and scale it up a little bit. Let's try scaling it up 12 times. Ha! Does that look better? So now we can trim it. And everything on this side of the brake line needs to be dashed, because what you're showing with that is that that stuff is overhead. Okay, now have I solved all of your questions? Changing the layer on your bay window, that was the polyline that we exploded. Getting the midpoint, double check your object snaps, and if all else fails, type MID for mid. Breakpoint line is too small. That is a Windows setting that has to do with your pointer size, but you can kind of work from there. The copy feature, you just need to practice, and it's all about base points. And I hope that helps. And I'm out of time. Thanks so much. Bye.